Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Hope you all doing great today. Yeah, God, it feels like I've not sat and done a video like this for a good couple months probably. Obviously I have, but I've been out walking and done like different videos. But yeah, sit down one like this. Yeah, so today I put a poll on yesterday on the group, obviously if you're on the calorie deficit group, just asking what topics you would like me to cover. Obviously it's important to get the input from you, obviously what you need with, what you want support with. So the one that got the most votes, I mean, I'm going to cover all the topics anyway I did put on the poll because they are quite a bit of interest, and you know they're all equally important, you know, to you for different reasons, so I will cover all of them anyway. But the first one was keeping motivated. Yeah, I get it, it's hard, it's really hard. For me, we always overcomplicate it, and we think that, you know, we've got to be 100%, you know, on the go all the time, and it's not. And it took me a while actually to get my head round keeping, it's not necessarily motivated, but keeping consistent is probably the better and the more appropriate word, along with being disciplined. Because motivation, you will lose motivation very quick. I still lose motivation daily, to be honest. Yeah, so it's more about being consistent. Excuse me if you know by now. Obviously, I have to drink my tea. Well, this is coffee, but I have to drink it while it's hot, and I can't drink it when it cools down. So yeah, I have done. I mean, it comes naturally anyway, but I have done a few points I've wrote down because I don't want to miss anything important off. I want to try and cover a lot of the things that I do, or I did, but I still obviously now do, because I'm still very much on this, you know, this journey. Yes, I've lost the weight, but it's now a case of maintaining it. I still want to lose a little bit, maybe a stone and a half, but it's strange because obviously my body's changing with the weight training. So yeah, for me, I'm in a bit of a, not a predicament because that's the wrong word, but I'm in a stage where it's all new and I'm getting comfortable with it and I'm learning. So yeah, I'm just sort of feeling my way through this new stage of where I'm at. So for me, what kept me going was, it was basically still having everything that I love every day. So my little chocolates, my little treats, my crisps, you know, I never cut out anything. And as you'll know, obviously from all my other videos, I still eat what I love, what I want, what I fancy. You know, I don't, you know, I don't not have it because I'm on a diet. I still, if I want that bit of chocolate, or, you know, I want that chicken KFC, I will have it. I will make it work within my calories. You know, as same for you guys, if you want that glass of wine or whatever it is that you want, you just need to factor it into either your daily calories or your weekly total. Yeah, honestly, don't feel like you've got to there's just this narrative in there about being on a diet, that, you know, you need to be eating salads and fruit, veg. It's not, you know, you can still have what you want to eat and what you enjoy eating. So for me, having a variety and being able to have that choice of what I actually want to eat, instead of being told like, no, you must stick to just chicken, rice, vegetables, you know, and it's bland, it's boring. Of course you're going to lose motivation. Like, who wouldn't? Any normal, sane human being would lose motivation after a couple of days. And then you get in this mindset of like, oh, you know, I failed, I can't do it, what's the point? And then you just end up back to the start of it all again, and then the cycle just begins, and you go again, and it begins. You might even, you know, be a bit successful and lose a stone, half stone, 2 stone, whatever. But because you're not changing your mindset about the whole diet, I mean, I hate the word diet because it's not even a diet, but, you know, that's the term that we're all used to and that we all know, and it, you know, it triggers us, it makes us, our ears prick up because it's been rammed down our throat, you know, since we've been growing up. So for me, variety and still eating what you love is my top one. Also, this ties in, so lower calorie alternatives. Now, I don't necessarily go for a food because it's lower calories. Some I do, yes. But you'll find that I'll have like mini versions. So this morning, for instance, I had 2 mini hot cross buns. There was like 99 calories each. So I had 2 of them with some yogurt and fruit. And I think the whole breakfast was like 364 with the butter and everything. So for me, that's a perfect calorie amount for breakfast. I'm full. I enjoyed it because, I mean, who doesn't love hot cross buns and butter? It's just like you're winning at life at breakfast time. Yeah, so it's finding something that you love, but maybe a treat size version of it. Like I also love the little mini cream eggs. Obviously, I love the big cream eggs, but it's knowing that the little ones, the 55 calories each, I can make that work into my calories, so I can have a couple a day or one a day with a cup of tea, or, you know, when I'm wanting a little bit of a sweet fix. And you can, yes, you can look at it and be like, oh, well, what's the point? It's tiny. Well, the point is that you're still able to have that. So if I can still have something, yes, it's smaller, but I can still eat it and it's still chocolate, like, surely that's a win. So for me, finding lower calorie alternatives, or a smaller version of it, you know, or just even eating half of something. I do that quite a lot. Obviously, because it's me and the kids, I eat a lot of leftovers, so I'll have half of something one day. So if I bought, I don't know, a cake or something, and it's like, oh, 500 calories, or a cookie, and I'm like, I want it, but I don't want the full calories, so I'll just half it. Or the kids will have the other half, you know. I used to be we was brought up in a, you need to eat everything on your plate household, like, you know, you need to eat everything. We're not wasting food. Whereas now, obviously I don't like wasting food. And to be honest, not a lot of food gets wasted because obviously I eat the leftovers the next day for lunch, tea, or the kids will have it. So it's trying to train your mind to get out of that. You need to eat everything. But actually you can waste things as well, or you can have it for the next day, or you can give it to the kids, you know, or freeze it. So it's looking at things differently. It's like, yeah, you can have the cookie. You don't need to eat all of it. Just have half of it. It's fine. So you're still feeling like you're having that little bit of a treat. So again, that for me, I mean, I've just put on school a few videos, well, not videos, a few pictures and posts the last few days of some treats that I've bought, which, you know, I needed to stock up actually because I was completely out. So I'd nipped to B&M. So like B&M Home Bargains is where I generally get all my treats and little chocolates and things from, because yeah, they're cheap, but they do a good selection and I love it. Another massive one is setting goals. Now I don't mean like, right, so when I started I was like in my head, and I still laugh now because I was like, right, I want to lose 10, so someone, I don't even know who asked me, was like, how much would you want to lose? And I was like, probably about 10 stone, and just sort of made a joke of it, because I mean, 10 stone, you know, it is wild, like it's a full person. And I even laugh now because it makes me laugh that I'm like, God, yeah, 10 stone. But I didn't set that as a real goal. I didn't really set any goals, I don't think, to be honest. I think I was just in the mindset of, I'm sick of my own crap and I just need to shut my mind up. And again, I still do this now. I'm very firm with myself and how I talk to myself, because for years, all my life basically, I've grown up, and you just make, you know yourself, you make excuses like, oh, I'll start tomorrow, or I'll start next week because I've got so-and-so's birthday, or there's this event coming up, or I can't be bothered, I'm tired, I'm stressed out, work's busy. There's always an excuse, always an excuse. I was the queen of excuses, trust me, I know. And it wasn't until I'd really started to lose maybe 2, 3, 4 stone, and you really get into the groove of the calorie counting, and you know that you're not going to be losing 7, 8, 9, 10 pounds a week like you feel everybody else does, because we do feel like that, you know, and I know a lot of you guys do feel like that on the group at the minute, but you have to, honestly, you please have to bear in mind that everybody's starting weights, heights, ages, activity is so different. So I used to have great losses in my first few months, to be honest, excuse me, of calorie counting. I used to lose like 7, 8 pounds, but you have to think, I was like 23.5 stone, I'm tall, massive, like I had a lot of weight to lose, so of course I'm naturally going to lose more, whereas somebody who's say 11 stone and is 5'5" and doesn't really have that much to lose, of course they're going to, you know, have smaller losses. That's just how it works, you know. So please don't be discouraged when you do see people saying, yeah, I've lost 4, 5, 6 pounds, and think, oh, well, why are I losing that? And I know it's easy to sit behind the screen at home when you're on your phone scrolling and thinking, oh God, why have I only lost half a pound this week? £0.5 is still amazing. Like, please, we need to get out of this mindset. And again, this is why I'm here to hopefully try and give off all this, you know, what I've learned over these last 3 years of the group being set up and losing the weight and creating the community that we've now got, which is amazing, by the way, and I'm so grateful for. So again, little goals, break it down into half a stone, you know. And I know I want to lose, I don't know, 14, 21 pounds. So I'm not going to go in there thinking, right, I need to lose 21 pounds, so I want to lose at least £5 that first week and yada. I'm now very mindful because I know how long it takes and how realistic weight loss is. It's not quick and it ain't easy. And I know there'll be weeks where I'll lose £2, £3, but then I might maintain for the next 4 weeks. And I did put in actually throughout my journey, I mean, I'm happy to share it again. There was a few months where I stayed in I think it was like 14 stone brackets for so long. And I mean so long. It must have been 8-9 weeks. And I tell you, I was about to lose it at that point. Because I'd already lost obviously a lot of weight. I'd lost like 9 stone, whatever at that point. And I'm thinking, what stopped working? Why is it not working? It's worked all right, like great until now. And it really is a case of you need to just keep going. There's no magic. Yes, obviously there was periods where I would go up my calories. Obviously that's a completely separate video in itself, which I will do. But I would up my calories, bring them back down, and that would get me going again. But sometimes not even that would work. You know, there's so many different factors. But at the time, when I look back now, I was going through a separation. I was living at my mum's. I was stressed. I was, you know, managing the group. But I was working full time as a baker. I was so busy. Life was just a lot. And I now know for me and my body, because I can just read it like a book now, for me, when I'm stressed, I don't lose very well. I can eat in the best deficit and, you know, do all the steps in the world. But if I'm stressed, my body is like a sponge. It just soaks it in and holds all that water, stress and all of that. Honestly, it's a thing. I don't know what the terminology is or whatever, but for me, and I know a lot of people have agreed, it is a thing. And it's only when I then, you know, life calms down and becomes less busy, my body just naturally disposes of this water. It's so strange because I'll be sat there one day and I'm thinking, I've gone to the toilet so many times and I've not even really drank anything last couple of days, like more so than what I would normally drink. And you can honestly, it's bizarre, but it's a thing. So yes, sorry, I digress as always, you know what I'm like. So that was setting goals. So just aim for small, even if it's £5, you know, £2 goals, whatever it is. It doesn't need to be massive because it then becomes overwhelming and you just bury your head with it because you think, oh God, imagine if I'd started and was like, right, I'm going to lose 10 stone. I wouldn't have even known where to start. Like, that's why I didn't even overcommit because I'm like, wow, I know I've got a journey in front of me. And if I am going to do this once and for all, because I'm sick of my own crap, then I just need to just get on with it and do it. Literally day by day. And that's exactly what I did, day by day. Really. I wish, so the next point I'm going to talk about, obviously I tracked my calories, but I never, yes, I've got photos, but not ones that I purposely took as before photos, if you like. So I've got photos that I'd maybe took while I was getting changed in Asda, because I do have one actually that I've not shared, and I'm not sure if I'm ready to share that yet, because it was me like my biggest, but I was so unhappy there as well. Yeah, so it does make me quite emotional when I look at it. I will share it one day, but I'm just not quite there yet. But definitely take photos, and I know you'll look at yourself and you'll be so disgusted and so upset with yourself for letting yourself get to that point. You'll hate what you see in the mirror, but honestly, when I look back now, I think, oh my God, I wish I just took the photos. And again, measurements, I never took any measurements, and I wish I had, because imagine, mine would be absolutely unreal. I never did, and I don't know why I didn't, but again, it was not the diet world, because I was in the whole diet world, but the taking it serious diet world, and really looking at nutrition and your body and all of that. I wasn't in that headspace for any of that. So definitely measurements weren't even on my radar. So definitely take measurements, because you'll be shocked at how many inches you will lose, but the scales either even go up or they stay the same for weeks, but yet your measurements will go down. So honestly, there's loads of guys in the group, guys and gals, I should say. When I say guys, I mean just everybody, but who do take measurements, and they're shocked. They're like, the scales haven't moved, but I've lost so many inches, and they're like, yeah, I'm so glad. So please, honestly, take that time. And I would probably just remeasure every month. I mean, I wouldn't do it every week because there might not be so much change, but definitely monthly. Do it, log it, move on. You know, you don't have to make it a thing. Just do it. It's just a process, you know, do it. And then as you go further into the journey and you look back and you're like, oh my God, actually, I've lost, you know, you'll see it. You will, and that will then keep you going and it'll spur you on to again. Yeah, that's a big thing. Obviously, tracking your calories, you know, that goes without saying. Even on the days that I went over, and that because you will overeat some days, because that's life, that's normal. There's, you know, life is for living, as I say all the time. There's occasions, there's birthdays, there's meals out, there's, you know, nights out. There's always something. So I'm a bit of an all or nothing. Like, if I'm doing it, I'm doing it. Like, so if I knew I was going out, I would still track. And I know it's hard to track sometimes when there's no calories at the restaurants, but just guess it. Like, go on the app, type in something similar on the eating out section or online, and put something in that is as similar as you can find. You're never going to be spot on, but at least you've got an idea of calories. And obviously, the more you're doing it, the more you get an idea of certain amount of calories in certain, you know, sizes of foods like sauces and things like that. So it does come with time. But yeah, I've always said, if you're over your calories, still track, because you're still in control. If you then say, oh, sod it, I'm not even tracking today because I know I've gone crazy over, you're actually going to be quite surprised at how much you've not gone over. And that's when you then say sod it, you then enter in dangerous territory. And this is why I never did it, because for me, if I was to then stop, I would have just stopped completely. Like I'd always done before. I'd be like, no, I've stayed the same this week. Oh, I'm just going to go treat myself to whatever takeaway or chocolate, whatever. And then tomorrow never came. It'd be, oh, I'll wake up, oh, you know, still feeling like crap because I ate crap the night before. So then I'm in this negative mindset all the time. Oh, whatever, I'll just eat what I want, you know, get back on it. You never get back on it. You know, like I said before, tomorrow never comes. So for me, still feeling in control and knowing that actually, right, yep, draw that line. I had my fun, I enjoyed it. I've gone over, yes. And I never actually used to lower my calories either, by the way, to compensate for going over. Some people do, and that's great. If it works for you, that's great. But for me, I never did, because then if I was to then deprive myself for the rest of the week and be starving, I would be like, nah, I'm starving, I can't, I won't be able to manage. So I would just eat my normal calorie allowance. But because I was probably overeating that much, I would still lose. Maybe not so much now, obviously, because I've not got, you know, I'm where I pretty much need to be. But definitely in the early stages, I would still lose. So, you know, again, it goes all on your height, your weight, and what you've got to lose. So please don't just be throwing it out there and be like, well, Sammy said, you know, but you have to, it is trial and error. And I say this all the time, trial and error of finding out what works for you, how your body responds, how your body works. We are honestly so different, and I cannot stress that enough. Next, I would say to keep motivated is little rewards for yourself. It doesn't even have to be expensive. It doesn't even have to cost anything. Excuse me, let me just finish this before it goes too cold. So, little rewards. Taking yourself out for a coffee, you know, you guys know I'm big on like the solo, taking myself out, the self-love, all of that. That's only been a new thing the last couple of years. More so if you've got kids or you work a lot and you don't have that time. So for me, having that time out to be able to focus, switch off, just sit, you know, and just have a bit of time. To me, that's precious. And I now crave that time. And if I don't have it, yeah, it makes me grumpy, shall we say. So yeah, take yourself out for a coffee, buy yourself a new nail polish, like a couple of quid. It doesn't need to be anything crazy, or plan to buy yourself if you hit your first £7, I don't know. It doesn't even have to be food related, because I think a lot of the times we associate rewarding ourselves when we lose weight with food, and I'm not against that because I have done it and I still do it. It's food is enjoyment. Food is there to be enjoyed. We shouldn't use it as a punishment or a treat, because food is food. A calorie is a calorie. So please don't ever feel bad if you do reward yourself. Or I've had a busy week. Yeah, I took myself out on Sunday. Like, I'd smashed the steps. I'd had such a busy activity week. I was like, do you know what? I just need a bit of time. I didn't have the kids, and I thought, I'm just going to go out, take myself out for food. Obviously, I'm getting a pudding, of course I am. Did I feel guilty? Absolutely not one bit. Did I enjoy it? Yeah, of course I did. Like, food's to be enjoyed, we need to celebrate it. Life's too short. So yeah, whatever it is that you want to reward yourself with, it be a new top, a new dress to hang up ready for summer. I don't know what it might be. It might just be some new socks or a new costume or a bloody new hairbrush or whatever. You know what it is that you need or you want. You've got your eye on something. So yeah, do plan in those little rewards, because I know for me, those little perks, they cheer me on and they spur me on and they keep me going, because I think, oh God, another couple of pounds and I get to go and buy that, or get to go do that adventure or that, experience. Yeah, definitely do it. It's something, this is one that we all pretty much guilty of this, but staying hydrated. Now, I was terrible for this actually for a good while. But one day I did start drinking 2 to 3 litres a day. Obviously, yes, you're going to the toilet all the time. Yes, it's annoying. Trust me, it is annoying. But it honestly does make the world of good. And a lot of the time when we feel hungry, I don't know, it's that, oh, you're not hungry, you're thirsty. But it's so true though. So just being a bit more mindful. Like, I saw something a couple of weeks ago, and it was like, I think it was Mel Robbins. Is that Mel Robbins? Anyway, on TikTok. And it was like, right, before you have your coffee or your cup of tea in the morning, just have a glass of water. And I know it's so simple, but it makes such a difference. It's just sort of waking your body up. And I've started doing my yoga again in the morning, which I'm loving. Yeah, and it's just being a bit more mindful. So yeah, staying hydrated. It's such an easy one, but also such an easy one to forget. But yeah, you sort of get into a little bit of a competition with yourself. You can get those bottles with the little things on the side, like drink this by so-and-so. If that works for you, great. Whatever works. Or if you have a certain type of cup or bottle that you like and it's easy to drink out of. Because sometimes having a massive old 2-litre bottle in front of you, it's overwhelming. And I know me and Kelly, actually, one of my lovely ladies who comes on the call every week, we were saying this last week, it's overwhelming to have a massive bottle. So just start with a little one, and once you've had that, refill it, it's fine. This is a massive one, actually, and I love this one, is the no scale victories. So for me, this all day long used to keep me motivated, without a doubt. So being able to fit in a chair that's got arms without you feeling like you're fat squishing out the side of it, or it's the patio chairs are going to break, at summertime. Honestly, the anxiety when you've been a bigger person, or you are a bigger person, yeah, it's overwhelming and it's a lot. So those little no scale victories, like being able to go on an aeroplane and knowing that the belt will fit you, and it's not tight, and you're not going to have to be embarrassed about asking for a seatbelt extender, or being able to stand in a lift without feeling like you're asking. Little things like that. Again, clothes fitting better, your jacket being able to do up, just being able to sit in the back of the car and not feel too squishy, or getting on fairground rides, stuff. Honestly, those little things make you think, oh my God, I would have never, if I'd have not lost this weight, I would have never had that experience and this feeling. And it's not even related to the scales or the numbers. But then also the ones that we probably overlook are your skin being better, your hair being better. Now for me, I'm still a bit of a work in progress with my hair. But obviously I'd lost a lot of weight, and my hair, when I was younger, my hair was so thick, so long, amazing. And obviously I know as you get older, you straighten it and all the heat damage and stuff like that. But since losing weight, my hair was so thin, and it wasn't necessarily falling out, but obviously I had 3 kids very close together, and postpartum hair loss, yeah, that did me dirty, massive. But I've been taking these, God, for a while now actually. I go to my hairdresser, Liz. I need to book in actually, but I go to her regular and I take a high strength biotin and some magnesium. Obviously magnesium is not for my hair, but I've definitely noticed a difference. And obviously I'm using a heat protector spray and it is growing and it's getting thicker and I'm noticing it. So, you know, it's a slow process, but for me, that's a massive no scale because it's my hair. Like, obviously every female wants to have nice hair and wants to look good and feel good. So for me, that's then improving my mental health around how I'm feeling. I'm feeling a lot more confident in myself. And again, skin, you know, it's those little things by eating better. I'm not feeling, you know, sluggish and lethargic. You feel like you look better and it puts a bit of a spring in your step. You feel less tired, you've got more energy. It's all those little no scales that for me, now, looking back, far outweigh any number on the scales. And it's really hard to change the mind of being so fixated on the scales and the numbers because, of course, we want to see the scales go down. Who doesn't? Because then it's giving you validation that what you're doing is correct. When actually, what you're doing is correct. Just because the scale hasn't moved doesn't mean you're not doing it correct. And this is where we need to retrain our thoughts and our minds and our beliefs. And I know, trust me, that is a process when it's been ingrained in your mind for years and years and years. But, you know, we can work on that. And that's what we do over at the Calorie Deficit Plus group. We really do strip it back into the mindsets and the learned behaviours. We're trying to unlearn them and give you new behaviours. So honestly, if you are like what I've just said, you need to come over and join us because that's where we really do get into the nitty gritty and the bare bones of why you are like you are with your eating habits. Yeah, and the last one I will touch on is keeping motivated. And I know it goes a bit against the grain really, but being active, fresh air. For me, when you've got young kids, well, this was at my time when I was losing the weight. Obviously, I had 3 young kids. You feel you can't. It's not just as easy just to go out. You know, get 3 kids ready and go out if the dads are at work or you've got no childcare. So I get it, but we went in the garden a lot just to get some fresh air, or we'd walk around the block to the shop. Yes, it's a chore. Yes, it's hassle. Yes, it probably takes you longer to get everybody ready to leave the house. But honestly, that instantly used to get me out of whatever funk I was in because, trust me, you get into this like a slob mode where you don't even want to get dressed in the morning some mornings. You just think, oh, it's just a day at home. Let's just stay in our pyjamas. Now, for me now, I can't do that anymore because that puts me in a negative headspace for the whole day. If I don't feel up and ready, not even necessarily to go out for the day, but if I'm not hair done, dressed and feeling good about myself, it puts me in a really crappy headspace, and I don't like going back to that headspace because it reminds me of a person that I didn't used to like being. So I'm very mindful now, and trust me, some days I cannot be bothered. I really have to force myself, and I'm grumpy and I'm like chuntering to myself, like, for God's sake, why have I got to do it? I can't be bothered. But I'll push through it, and then once my hair's done, my makeup's done, I'm dressed, and I always have my Spotify on anyway when I get up in the morning. I mean, Nelly sleeps with me a lot of the time anyway, but I put the music on. She loves it because it wakes her up in a good mood. Then I go get the boys up, and then, you know, it's not even like crazy music, it's just whatever's on my Spotify, and then, you know, I'll get us all ready, get dressed, and honestly, for me, that makes such a difference. And then I'm already halfway to getting to being outside because we're all up, we're all dressed, we're all ready. It's just a case of shoes and coats on, and then, yeah, go for a walk, go to the park. Obviously, I know the weather's crap right now, winter, it's cold, it's wet. But honestly, if you can push yourself now, this time of year, when spring, summer rolls around, you'll thank yourself because you'll be in such a better position mentally. Physically, you'll be feeling a lot, you know, fitter, more energised. And, you know, they say, don't you, the hard work happens through winter. And trust me, that's absolutely true. So if you can get your head down, have a bit of grit about you now through winter, I'm telling you now, spring, summer, you will breeze through it and you'll be like loving life and you'll be feeling so great. So if I can encourage you to do one thing, is to, even 10 minutes, go for a walk. Get the kids, if you've got no kids, just get your coat on and go. Stop saying, oh, I can't be bothered, I'm tired, I've had a busy day. Stop listening to these excuses. Just get your shoes on, get your coat on, get your headphones and just go. And you'll surprise yourself. So for me, all of those things are what keeps me going. And the last thing I will say actually is, I always use this motto for myself, is that you haven't come this far to only come this far. Like, give yourself a bit more credit. You're doing amazing. You've already made that first step, so just keep going, day by day, step by step. Stop looking at it, it's such a mountain to climb. Just go, literally one foot in front of the other, one meal. You know, that's all you need to do. So yeah, hopefully you can take even just a few things from this video that'll be useful and that will help you. But yeah, you're doing amazing, so just keep going.